Who y'all recruiting nation? Welcome back to another phenomenal episode of Uncharted Waters with the one, the only, the people's champ, the architect of success, Admiral James Waters. I am Chief Totome. Let's get into another incredible episode. Today we have two of the most significant individuals in Navy recruiting. First, after 37 years and still going, an individual that began his career as an aviation boatswainmate and rose to the rank of a full-bird captain. Region West Commodore, Captain Tommy Edgeworth. And next, we have a personal mentor to me, a legend icon in Navy recruiting, has completed so many roles within Navy recruiting. Region East Commodore, Captain Patrick Copeland. Gentlemen, welcome to Uncharted Waters.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Yeah, it's really great to have you both.
To start with you, Captain Edgeworth, can you talk a little bit about your personal journey?
My personal journey is I joined the military when I was 19 years old. Came in from a small town. Didn't really have any idea what I really wanted to do. But once I joined the military, I had tremendous amount of leadership from several chiefs, senior chiefs and master chief that drove me to stay in the Navy. My initial thought was staying in the Navy for 4 years, but after about 2 years in the Navy, I realized this is something I really wanted to do. And so I really put my time, effort to pursue a career in the military. Obviously made it up to the rank of E6. From E6, got commissioned as an LDO, and from there, here as a captain today.
Yeah, so 4 years and you overshot just a little bit.
Yes, sir.
Who we got?
37.
Who we got? Captain Copeland?
So it's kind of a similar story, but I started. I was actually following my brother's footsteps. So he went ROTC. He was a valedictorian. I didn't quite do that well. But so we went up to RPI, studying engineering. I didn't know quite what I wanted to do, so applied for ROTC. Got picked up. 2 years behind him in school. He went off to Navy Reactors. I went off to be a SWO. Wasn't quite up there with. So went off did my SWO thing. Wasn't really kind of a good fit based on my personality and what I like to do, that sort of thing. So jumped over to the HR world. Got into recruiting and absolutely fell in love. So first tour up in New England. Just everything about kind of why I wanted to be a part of the Navy, helping people, that sort of thing. So. Done a little bit of everything in recruiting, from officer side, enlisted side. Was the XO and skipper out in San Diego. Did this whole transformation effort. If anybody remembers any of that, about 5 or 6 years ago.
We don't.
Yes, sir. I try to forget about it sometimes. And then off to do some region and HQ work, so NEPO, ops, that sort of thing. So love every minute of it. So
yeah, it's fantastic.
Amazing. To start back with you, Captain Copeland, can you discuss a little bit about your leadership philosophies and how your experiences in the Navy kind of shaped those?
Okay, so over the years, I've definitely learned a lot in regards to leadership. Early in my career was one of those things where if I knew how to do it or whatnot, my team wasn't doing it well. Sometimes I kind of just took on that burden and did it myself. Put in a lot of hours, a lot of hard work. Over time, I learned obviously get more senior and have more people, more responsibility. It's a little tougher to do that. So. Really trusting my subordinates, my commanders to execute the mission, and empowering them to make decisions. I'll mentor them, I'll help them along the way, but I'm not going to make the decision for them. And really, allowing them to make mistakes, learn from their mistakes, and guide them along the way. It's kind of my style.
Yeah, that's a really important concept. That idea of mentoring, but not making the decision for them, because it can become, pretty easy to I'll just do that, right? And it just aggregates, and then the whole system's bogging down,
right.
And you have people below you that aren't motivated to take on new challenges themselves.
Now, if it is a friction point for me, there will be times where I kind of ask additional questions to try and lead them in a certain way, but I do want the COs. A lot of these commanders first time being a skipper. There's a lot of lessons learned. A lot of things.
Yeah. First time commanding. Some of them first time in recruiting.
Yes, sir.
Right. We do the XOCO fleet up, but that that 18 months as an XO, 18 months or so, is this many of their first experiences in recruiting.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Amazing. Amazing. Captain Edgeworth, your leadership philosophies and how your past experiences basically shape those.
I'm more of an engaged leader, to be honest with you. I look forward to empowering my people, giving them the opportunities to see, giving them the opportunity to make decisions, giving them the opportunity to be the CEO. Those are the things that really stands out to me. From personal examples, I know firsthand on what it takes to be successful, right? If you look at my career path, I've been in aviation pretty much my whole entire career, right? If you give sailors the opportunity to voice their opinion, to give them the opportunity to do their job, they would do just well.
Yeah. Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah, that's really, really important. And I think the other thing for you in particular, Tommy, that is probably worth mentioning briefly is you've had a couple of stints during your time as Deputy Commodore as acting CO of a few of the NTAGs.
Yes,
Can
sir.
we talk a little bit about that?
Yes, sir. Unfortunate situation, but for me, not having a recruiting experience, coming here 18 months ago, I rely on my team. To be honest, with you, rely on my team. Bad has helped me out quite a bit as well too. So that's the relationship that we have. But going out to the NTAG and actually being a CO kind of gave me a different perspective, from a region. Because from a region standpoint, I'm asking the strippers to do this, asking the strippers to do that, not realizing that their day-to-day business is really challenging and tough. So it gave me a different perspective to see it from three different NTAGs. So that helps me as a Commodore.
Yeah, you've walked the
decisions.
ground that
Yes,
they're
sir.
walking right now.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
We are. So, Captain Copeland, you've led tremendous amounts of recruiting efforts over your time. Can you speak a little bit about some of those lessons that you experienced and how you're going to bring that over to Region East?
So many lessons, and probably the biggest lessons I learned were during this transformation effort, 5 or 6 years ago. Probably the biggest thing, lessons learned, I would say, would be culture is super important. Buy-in of your team, transparency, making sure the team knows the why behind what we're doing. If we just tell them to go do something because I said so, like I do with my kids sometimes, they really don't understand, like why am I going to do this? When you explain the why, maybe the higher level stuff that we engage in on a daily basis, it gives them a better feel and a better reason, motivation to actually accomplish what they need to get done. So transformation, I think we had some culture issues. We didn't really have the buy-in from the team. So from the get-go, I think it was a little bit of a struggle kind of getting through the process.
Yeah, but that culture is king idea is really important. You got to know your organization, what its DNA is. What drives this organization, and then play to your strengths. Really identify those key places that are the most important elements. So today, the number one priority is the line recruiter, because we can lead with excellence. If they don't recruit, then nothing happens.
Absolutely.
Right? And so we have to recognize that and highlight that. I think your lessons out of the transformation, which we've pulled back from over the last several years. This is before our time and our current roles.
Yeah.
But it was something that we learned a lot from, and I think has made us much stronger today.
Yes, sir. I agree with that.
Good God. Captain Edgeworth, you have a very diverse background, from aviation maintenance to program management. Can you speak a little bit about how those experiences is going to translate to your leadership over at Region West?
Yeah, absolutely. While my career is primarily aviation maintenance, program management, and program office, there's one thing for certain: leadership is key. I think I'm a pretty good leader when it comes to running an organization. The one thing that I will say that over the course of my career, I've worked for many great leaders, and I've taken a lot from each of them. Some of the things that I will use to inspire my team: effective communication. always lead by example. Treating people with dignity and respect, right? Empowering the team to go out and do your job, be the best that you can be every day. I think with those qualities, it will build a winning culture.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's
That
amazing.
resonates really well.
Yeah. So this is a question to both captains. We'll start with you, Captain Copeland. So currently, we want to know, what do you believe is the greatest strength in Navy recruiting? How can we channel that moving forward as you take the reins of your perspective or current region?
I think the biggest strength right now is the winning attitude, the competitiveness, when especially last year we had a lot of people that said it's impossible, you can't do this, and the field, the team, all the staffs, we got together. They were motivated, and honestly, they just got the job done. So really, there's nothing that can stand in our way at this point. It's the competitiveness, the just that winning attitude that we're going to get the job done, despite all the things in our in front of us.
Yeah, I mean, when you roll that back, the human element, that sense that we can and will and are doing it, resulted in a number of contracts that we haven't achieved since 2003, resulted in a contracting rate for the second half of last fiscal year, 2024, that was higher than we have in recorded history, right?
Yes, sir.
It's a contracting rate significantly above what would have been done in any year that we've looked at. So I think that sense is really generating continued momentum.
And when you win, you want to keep winning.
Yeah.
So the right time.
That's right. I love
That's
it.
right.
I love it. Captain Edgeworth, the same question for you.
Well, my greatest strength, I will probably say, is my people. I have a group of professionals who come to work every day that's passionate about the job, that's dedicated about the job, that want to get the job done. And just like Pat said, when you're winning, everybody is happy, right? And so I think that's what inspires me. That's part of my greatest strength, and being competitive at the same time. We're one team, one family at the end of the day. We're both competitive, trying to get the job done. At the end of the day, it's all about, making mission 40 for NRC, right? So I'm happy about that.
Yeah, I mean, nothing happens without people willingly tackling hard problems.
Yes, sir.
Right? We've got lots of hard problems, and now we have people willingly tackling those together with people they trust and respect. Right, the definition of great culture, I think, and that those people, those recruiters, the support staff, including the region staffs, the headquarters staffs, all working with one purpose, generating the Navy's future.
Yes, sir.
And I think what's really cool when you see that happen is, someone may have not met their goal, someone may be at their goal, but the person that's at their goal is willing to step up, go beyond, and write a couple extra contracts or just keep going, so that the nation eventually, we get there.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, gentlemen, coming into FY25, one of the Admiral's priorities was debt management. Can you speak a little bit about your view moving forward about debt management to ensure we're successful?
Okay, so because of the current environment we're in, kiss and ship environment, that sort of thing, where we're basically contracting people and shipping them right away. Over the last couple of years, just due to circumstances, there's been kind of a lack of ability to really engage, build those relationships with the future sailors. And I would say the biggest thing that we can do is bring that back, build those relationships. Because when you build a relationship with an individual, make them feel like they're part of the team, their kind of hesitancy to maybe attrite or move on to something else, they feel, it makes them feel a certain way that, hey, I'm letting someone down. The other piece of that is obviously the referral side of the house. When you're treating me well, you're showing me all the great things about the Navy, I want to bring my friends in to see the same experience. So it all kind of goes hand in hand. It's about treating people the right way, showing them the great Navy that we're all about. And once we do that, it takes care of itself.
Yeah, it comes down to leadership at every level, right? This is all the way down to the line recruiter, and that has that human-to-human contact and that trust-based relationship with the future sailor, continuing to build that relationship over time while they're waiting to ship. And then that generates that connectedness that you're talking about that leads to, well, it's sticky. I'm not going to walk away. And it's attractive because it's like, oh, I want my friends to see this as well.
And then once you get to that point, sir, the recruiting doesn't, it works itself. You have your applicants, your future sellers are doing your job for you.
Yeah, so absolutely.
Captain Edgeworth, your view?
Yeah, I also think building relationships. One of the things I had a personal take is that Admiral had mentioned earlier about being a CO at one of the intacs. I personally went down to a depth management meeting and just telling my personal story from coming in the Navy at 19 years old to where I'm at today. I think that resonated with the team really, really good. So I do believe it's just engaged leadership. If we get leadership out there, which I'm sure leadership is out there, it makes a big difference.
Yeah, absolutely. That direct engagement, telling your story,
Yes, sir.
helping people to see that all these people walking around in uniforms are humans, and not only humans, but humans you want to be like.
Yes, sir.
That leads to that stickiness, that connectedness. I agree with that. That's really good.
Captain Copeland, what do you anticipate to be one of the biggest challenges we face in Navy recruiting for FY25? And do you have a vision for a way we can mitigate it ahead of time?
Biggest challenges. So I think it would be, continue to build on the momentum that we already have. Over the last couple of years, we've had some, just because of circumstances, like I said before, some things that we would normally do as far as training our team and making sure that we're continually ready. I think we have some areas to work on as far as knowledge and efficiencies and processes still to go to make ourselves a team that if something were to happen again, that we wouldn't kind of forget and we would continue so that we would push right through it and not stumble at all.
Captain Edgeworth, can you speak a little bit about some of your legacy that you want to leave behind once you leave as Commodore of Region West?
Sure. Well, recruiting is special to me, being that I'm probably the first LDO in recruiting, so it means a lot to me. The people. I think about the people every day that I come to work. I want to build lasting relationships with their recruiting out in the local community as well. But I want to leave the region behind where they're positioned for long-term success. As I stated in my change of command speech, a lot has been invested in the intags, the regions, down to the field recruiters. And it's up to us to continue day after day returning a strong return on investment.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's a great sentiment. That sense that this is a fight worth winning,
Yes.
right? It's a mission worth doing because it leads to goodness. It leads to a better Navy and a better nation.
Yes, sir.
What's your advice to recruiting nation? We'll start off with you, Captain Copeland.
Advice to recruiting nation is continue to fight. We will continue to win. Never give up, and continue to push up ways in which we can improve processes and continue to bring efficiencies for the field recruiter.
Yeah, push those ideas up. We that have demonstrated a willingness to take those ideas and do them. So keep doing it.
Yeah. Captain Edgeworth?
In fiscal year 24, you proved to the nation what you was capable of doing. Honestly, I felt like we won the championship, and I look forward to repeating that again in fiscal year 25.
Sir, closing remarks?
Yeah, this has been great. The two of you have been great partners through the time that I've been here since March of 24. We went through the slog of medical waiver battle stations, deep in it together, all the way through the rest of the fiscal year to today, of course. But I thank you for coming in today, but in particular, the support, the partnership, and the willingness to provide sage wisdom as we were struggling through like each of the decisions that had to be made and how to do those things. You can have great ideas, but if they're not implemented well, it doesn't work. And you've demonstrated not only a willingness to support in great ideas, but also in implementing. And I appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
We'll be Recruiting Nation, thank you for tuning in for Uncharted Waters with the one, the only, the people's champ, the architect of success, Admiral James Waters. Chief Totemate, out.